Many thanks for staying with us on our program, The Conversation. Today, we'll focus on a critical topic, disaster management here in Lagos. And with a city of over 25 million people, Lagos faces challenges of building collapses, fire incidents, and vehicular accidents involving hazardous materials. Effective emergency response is very crucial at this point. Joining us this morning is Engineer Olatunde Akinsanya. He's the Director of Operations, Lagos State Emergency Management Agency, and he'll be telling us how the agency, manages disaster effectively in the state. You're welcome.
Thank you very much. Good morning.
Okay, for those who are watching this program for the first time or who are hearing about LASEMA for the first time, I'd like you to give us a brief overview of what your mandate, that is, the responsibilities of the agency is.
Well, thank you very much. LASEMA is an agency of the state government that is saddled with the responsibility of managing emergency from the response level to the mitigation level, to recovery, and of course to emergency preparedness. Holistically, we have the mandate of managing emergency from prevention even to the recovery level. So in view of that, the agency is spread across the states, in order to engender effective responses, because most of the time emergency occur at the local level. So the Lagos State is distributed into 3 senatorial levels for effective coverage and effective response. So our responsibility is to manage, to deploy the resources of the state to manage emergency situations so that the impact or the outfall of the incident will not be catastrophic. When emergency is overwhelming, it becomes a disaster. And to the glory of God, we've not been having that kind of a situation. Every emergency situation has been attended to effectively. So we respond to the emergency, even from the scene, even to the secondary level, which is moving the victim to the tertiary hospitals for medical treatment. So first and foremost, we remove every hazard around the incident. Number one, once the hazard are isolated, we're now moving into rescue the victim, either from a collapsed building, either from a road crash accident, or a falling container, or fire incident. So we assess the victim, we manage the victim. The beauty of it is that LASEMA is not only coordinating emergency.
Exactly.
It has response unit, and that is called LASEMA Response Unit. This is the first of its kind in the whole state. It's not only coordinating all of the agency at the scene of incident, but also build capacity and capability to directly manage emergency situations, handle victim, conduct CPR, stabilize victim. In our fleet of operations, of course, we have pre-hospital care, paramedics that handles emergency medical services at the scene of incident before the victim is now transferred to the general hospitals.
When you talk about we, are you talking about your other disaster management agencies that do not belong to LASEMA?
If you watch my tongue, I'm trying to analyze critically the mandate of LASEMA. When you look at LASEMA as a coordinating agency of emergency, you are talking of several other stakeholders that working together in high-level collaboration and synergy. So that is exactly, because globally, managing emergency is not located to a particular agency.
Not to one agency.
Because you need multiple resources to take care of victims. So, at the scene of incident, for effective response and delivery, there is a need, of course, for coordination.
Okay.
So, which simply means multi-agency tactical approach in managing emergency. That is exactly the terrain, what we have in Lagos State.
Okay, I'd like to know, perhaps just to stick with the mandate of LASEMA just briefly. Does Lagos State have a comprehensive disaster management plan, and how often is it reviewed? And secondly, what are the most common kind of disasters predominant in Lagos that you attend to?
Thank you very much. Lagos State government have a comprehensive emergency management plan. We call it emergency response plan of the state. That is, after a thorough analysis and evaluation of prevalent emergency situations and survey of emergency situation in the city, then Lagos State build resources and capacity and capability of many agencies to coordinate together in this response. And of course, we are being bounded together. Our operational procedure is guided together by what we call emergency response plan of the state. So when LASEMA is talking, we are not only talking about our capacity, because our capacity is rich in the likes of all other agencies that we work together. There are primary responders, and there are secondary responders, and of course there are tertiary responders. This document that we call emergency response plan is the instrument of operation which we deploy whenever there is a particular emergency. So this document is reviewed on 2 years biannually, whereby the stakeholders engage themselves and observe every operational gap and come up with a plan to review it and to modernize it, to make sure it conforms to the global practices.
Okay, I know you just finished a particular conference recently where you had all other SEMA, I guess.
Yes.
But let me just go to a particular challenge I know you've always had when there is a particular building collapse. You didn't answer the second leg of my question, which was what are the prevalent?
Okay, prevalent. The prevalent emergency scene in Lagos State is road crash accident.
Not building collapse?
Not building collapse.
Okay.
It's road crash.
It's road crash.
So really?
Statistically, the road crash accident occupies, occupies 34%. Last year it was 38%. Year before last year it was 41%. Gradually it is decreasing,
which is a good thing.
Which is a good thing. And we're looking forward to building resources and of course enlightenment that will ensure that before the end of this year we won't have an overflow.
Okay, so which brings me to the question. Oftentimes when you have disasters, especially in the densely populated areas like Lagos State, the challenge has always been the access to those areas to provide emergency response as well as evacuate and prevent other people from actually from escalating the situation you have in those particular areas. Have you been able to deal with it? Because oftentimes when you have somewhere in perhaps on Lagos Island, access to the place is difficult. You've had I remember the Afriland incident. It was I believe if response was timely, or access to that particular plaza was available, something would have been done to prevent the number of lives lost in that incident. So what is LASEMA doing to address issue of access, especially when there's a particular disaster?
Yeah, the issue of access is a major problem that we encounter at the scene of incident. Oftentimes, we spend quality time trying to assess incident, and of course we are the managers of golden hour. Golden hours. A golden hour is the hour or minutes between life and death. 1 minute can overturn the result of the hour operations. So many of our people are not aware of this. So especially this time around that we are in the area of these Facebooks and all of this media stuff.
Prefer to take more pictures.
You know, you see people struggling to take pictures than being sympathetic. You know, when you are sympathetic with situations, you will give access to the responders to assess the scene of incident. So I was in 2021, I was in Austria, and right there I was doing a little shopping, and I saw fire incident in an high-rise building, and I started to watch how the firemen managed the incident and the response from the public. It was so amazing. The two fire trucks came from different directions, and of course there was no blockage. Everyone bystander were just doing their own business. They just move away from the scene of incident and they move out completely. And that was fascinating. I'm looking forward to a time that we achieve that in Lagos. Because Lagos social media has further worsened the situations. Everybody wants to be the first person
to capture
one event or the other. I don't know, maybe they don't know. And it's good for good people of Lagos State to know that is sharing some horrible incident could be traumatized. It is one of the roots of secondary incident. Exactly. And the impact of that is more calamitous than, you know, the incident in our hands. So, you know, we have that big problem, and of course we are working together with our stakeholders. The beauty of Lagos, it would have been worse if not for the LASEMA, if not for the Lagos State Neighborhood Watch. You know, Lagos State has a robust plan to effectively manage every incident in its domain. We have this LASEMA agency, that is Road Traffic Management Agency, and of course Neighborhood Watch. We've been able to engage them effectively in managing the crowd.
I want to come in there. You are talking about managing of crowd, you know, at a particular incident. What about traffic congestion, which also deters, you know, emergency responders of getting to the disaster? Well, let me just mention police. What role does traffic congestion play in all of this? Because you mentioned LASEMA. Has traffic congestion also been part of the challenges you face in assessing disaster areas?
Traffic congestion is another big problem. You know, the biggest of them, because we evaluate this problem at every incident. When we return back to the operation base, we do a little brief, hot debriefing. And we're able to look at our time, our response time, and of course, what could be some delays.
Okay.
Now, the biggest of them at the scene of incident is the crowd control.
Okay.
Before the social media, this phone and the Facebook likes, you know, it has always been traffic. But now, crowd, you know, encumbrance into the scene of incident is the major one. The second one is, of course, the traffic, which, of course, we have done a critical analysis of that. Most of it is because some of the people on the commuters, some of the road users are reluctant to give access to the emergency services. Because when LASEMA is moving, we are moving with a tow truck. In case there is an impediment, the tow truck will be able to remove it. That's number one. Number two, we are moving with ambulance services, which of course LASEMA play a major role. And our own ambulance service, which is controlled by our own paramedics, we are going together, we are moving together. So when you hear this siren blowing, it means somebody is in crisis and it needed urgent effort to mitigate the impact and to rescue the person. It is the duty of the community to give access if you're on the road. At that point in time, that is when you see some of our people trying to drag the road with us. I think it's good that the good people of Lagos State should please an advanced ambulance service in a civilized country,
You move aside.
your duty is civil duty, your civic duty. It just, I don't know whether they are still doing civic studies and all of that. Those things helps a lot. You know, your civic duty as a citizen of the state is to give access to emergency vehicles so that they can get to the scene faster than it could be imagined. So that is exactly the second biggest hurdle. So it's good that we can use this opportunity to educate our people. It may be your family that is at the scene of incident. It has happened. And somebody was going and the ambulance were blowing, not knowing that it was his father that was in the vehicle. And he was there until when he got home and discovered the father just had an heart attack and he was being taken to the hospital. So these are the challenges we do face on a daily basis when we, and of course, if you look at the statistical data, it is reducing.
Okay.
It means our people are more enlightened, are getting to the level of taking responsibility and enlightening.
Okay. I'd like to get the story before I move into the kind of equipment you deploy to some of these areas. You talked about the fact that they're scattered across the senatorial districts, the 3 senatorial zones in Lagos. I'd like you to tell me, perhaps give a vivid example of a particular incident that made you think that LASEMA has done its job, that the reason why you are here in LASEMA has been fulfilled. It means you were able to say, for the first time you went back home and said, look, you told your family, I'm grateful that I'm in this particular place at this time, because what we did today averted so, and I feel government is doing the right thing with the establishment of LASEMA.
I can mention more than 10, but because of our time, I will start from the recent one. Just last month, we had a building collapse, 4-story building collapse in Ebute Meta, that Borno way. Yeah. We had 4-story building collapse. It was a major collapse incident. And I can categorically tell you that when we started the search and rescue operation, we were able to rescue 3 men alive. That's one. Number 2, the operation dragged till the second day. Our men were on ground. I was particularly on ground the second day. And second day morning, we still recovered 2 people. And when we look at, I sat back to analyze the victim profiles. I discovered that 4 men were lost in the victim. 6 men were recovered alive. And when you aggregate that together, of course, that's 60%.
Yes.
So I was so glad. I was so glad. With all the resources in our hands, we're able to localize victims who cannot talk under the 3-story collapse. And we're able to recover them, extricate them, and bring them alive. That's one. And of course, the second one, I want to jump to another one, which is 21-story building collapse. That's about 5 years ago. The Gerard. That Gerard.
Yes, Gerard on the island. Yeah,
on the island. You know, it was one of the biggest building collapse that we have recorded. 21-story building suddenly collapsed. That very day, we recovered 1 person on the ground floor. 1 victim on the ground floor. We deployed all of the emergency response plan of the state, including the private, joined forces together to manage that incident. LASEMA led in the coordination. And of course, around 10 p.m., we recovered a man under the whole 21-story, collapse on him. We recover him. We bore the concrete. We first identified the location of the victim. We cut the beams and the pillar to reach him. And of course, our paramedics that is emergency medical service, swung into action. They administered oxygen to stabilize him, and we brought him right alive. In that operation, it happens on Monday, that very day. As at Wednesday, we're still bringing people alive. So I can count on many occasions that, especially most of the building collapse, that we have trapped people. We have been bringing people alive. We have not lost all of the victims in the incident.
That's commendable.
Okay.
And of course, it's good for me to state categorically, we couldn't have achieved this if not for the resources and the support of the government, headed by Mr. Babajide Olusola Sanwo-Olu, who has provided us with the political will, the infrastructure, the equipment that is required, and the training, which is very, very key and important, because the training helps to keep the responder up to date and at par to all of his colleagues abroad. So this, the state government has been doing for us.
Okay, sorry, I'm going to take us back a little bit, and that's about community engagement. Just now you were appealing to Lagos residents on how to respond when there is an emergency. Is there any type of ongoing public enlightenment that program or initiative that your agency, which is LASEMA, has a baton or they have on ground right now?
Yeah. First and foremost, you look at today is World Disaster Day, and of course, the team is funding, resilience and not disaster. And of course, we narrow it down to empowering the youth for future resilience. So one of our strategic points of call at this junction of emergency, engagement is, and sensitization is going to schools.
Oh, okay.
To teach, build the capability of students in primary and secondary school on basic safety tips, and of course, basic steps to respond when there is an incident, a domestic fire example.
Okay.
Because that seems also, after we have a road crash, then the next one, of course, is fire incident. So we've gone to the school to catch the youth at their young age, because they are an opportunity to reach out to their parents. So they have the opportunity to reach out to their parents, pass the information back to their parents. So we've been doing student and public school advocacy.
Okay.
And of course, that has been yielding, where we have volunteers from schools, emergency rescue volunteers from schools. So from that quarter, we've been able to reach, and of course, at our operational level, at the grassroots, that is what we call local emergency management committee, which of course we have empowered to also reach out to the locals to talk to them about what are the proactive steps to take once there is an emergency, and what are the basic safety culture they should embed. And of course, at the operational level, like I said, we have 3 senatorial zones. All of the head of operation do have community engagement with the local LCDAs to update them about prevalent crises in their area.
Okay, disasters don't just happen, they're caused.
Yes.
And safety is everyone's business.
Yeah.
You said part of your mandate is the preventive part of it, the prevention, where you try to preconceive, or better still, try to avert some kind of things. I know what FRC is doing, I know what Safety Commission in Lagos is doing. So what do LASEMA tell people about perhaps road crashes, building collapse, or fire incident? What do you tell the people?
Thank you very much. I'm happy to answer this question, because many don't know what LASEMA do behind at the background. They just think we respond to the incident alone. No.
Okay.
Number one, most of the time, You know, we are in a community that is enlightened. Now, a lot of people, when they see a potential hazard, the first point of call is LASEMA. And oftentimes we receive letters, like 10 in a month, of a particular hazard, a perceived hazard or potential hazard. Somebody will write, like a whistleblower. I'm just telling you. The house beside my house.
Really?
I can't say the way they are doing it. They just done the daycare and they are doing this. The house is bad. This is happening. And of course, this letter goes straight to the permanent secretary, Dr. Oluwafemi Damilola Okeosonitolu, and he passed it down to me as the director of operation and maintenance. And of course, we visit the scene. Most of the time, we invite the builder, and of course, escalate the follow-up to LAPCA, Lagos State Building Control. So we played major role in mitigation and preventions. Some people would come and say there is a gas, somebody selling gas beside my house, and oftentimes it smells. We will move in there. Our operation base will move in there and evaluate the hazard in that particular and provide solutions.
Okay.
If there is a need for them to move out, we will tell them to move out.
Okay.
And of course, we will write the physical planning. So we have been employing, the government structure to prevent disaster behind the scene. These are major roles that we are carrying out on almost on daily basis.
Okay.
So most of the incident may probably, it's not probably, it will have been more than this.
Okay.
But because of our proactive action and working in collaborations with building control agency and of course safety commissions and of course the Lagos State Fire Service and Rescue, have gone a long way to reduce the rate of incident in Lagos State.
Okay, let's talk about communication now. How does LASEMA manage public communication during a crisis to combat miscommunication? You pointed out earlier about all this social media, all these, I call them emergency reporters or emergency broadcasters now.
Accidental.
Accidental, who will push out some kind of narrative and, they don't get the real story. So how do you manage, public communication?
Thank you very much. LASEMA we have a Facebook page and of course Instagram, and of course we've been able to address a lot of this, and our follower have been rising this time around. The follower base in LASEMA on the Instagram, Facebook have increased tremendously in the recent time.
Okay.
People have been able to be corrected by what we publish, not what other people publish in their social media.
Okay.
We've been able to put our preliminary investigation report on the social media, Facebook and Instagram.
Okay.
And of course, a lot of people have been using that to mirror the situation of the incident.
Okay.
Not what they see or other people posted.
Yeah.
So people are now having to tell others, no, that is not what has happened. If you go to LASEMA page, you're going to see it there. You're going to see all of those things there. Before, the preliminary report about incident is between the operational level. We will wait for the conclusion of the incident before the permanent secretary LASEMA come on air to say this and that. However, because we have noticed the rate at which bad reports are flying all over the state, so we've come with this strategy.
Okay.
So at every scene of incident, within few hours, we have preliminary report roll out. That's one. Number two, we've been having good relationship with with the pressmen and news houses. So we've been able to forward this information to them so that they can help to publish it.
Okay, I'm aware
my
of that.
final question to you is, where do you see LASEMA, or better still, how do you think LASEMA can be more effective in managing disaster in the future in Lagos State?
Thank you very much.
You've been part of LASEMA for a very long time.
Yes, I've been part of LASEMA for a very long time.
So I know that your dream and aspiration is to see it play a critical role, especially like you find in other climes, playing a major role in averting major catastrophic disasters. So what do you think, what's the vision like with LASEMA?
Yeah, the vision like with LASEMA now is to move to the next level and improve communication gadgets.
Okay.
And improve communication gadget that will enable real-time monitoring of the scene of incident from the control room. You know, recently, under the leadership of Mr. Governor, Mr. Babajide Olushola Sanwo-Olu, you know, one of our outlets, which is the command and control, has been upgraded to a command and control agency. So I'm looking at a robust command and control agency whereby the actors, the commanders can sit back and begin to watch and begin to see real life coordination of incidents. That's number one. Number two, a need for communication, mobile communication sets, which is radio communication, and improved radio communication set, which will enable search and rescue officers to communicate with each other at the scene of incident. That's the second one. And of course, third one, I am looking up for, you know, improving and increasing the operation base of LASEMA. Presently, we have 7. I'm looking at building more capacity from 7 to 10, whereby people have quick access to relief efforts when there is a crisis. So those are the area, of course, I'm looking at.
Okay, as we wrap up the segment, in case of emergencies, we say this here all the time, please call 767 or 112. Thank you very much, Engineer Olatunde Akinsonya, Director Operations, Lagos State Emergency Management Authority. And we've been talking about disaster management here in the City of Excellence. When we come back, the program continues.